Now this is the grand finale. Nahir Sugar Woo Albright. Pretty boy Nahir Sugar Woo. Nahir. Bright. Whatever he's going by. The man, when he fought Frank Martin is one of the best athletes boxing in the world. Literally. He's one of the more athletic fighters in the world. He just is. Is he one of the most skilled? I don't know. We have to see him fight more fights. I mean, he hasn't really fought that many fights. But he's one of the most athletic. He's also slicker. He's also slicker and has more skills than Nahir Albright. So why did they fight to a draw? Because Nahir Albright won the early rounds with aggression and length. And one thing that Nahir started doing in this fight is going to be huge if he could bring that into the fight against Keyshawn. He started staying at the perfect distance mid-range, and that's how he was able to hurt Frank Martin the second time. The first time, I think he hurt him with that damn that right hand. He hurt everybody. He hurts everybody with the right hand. But when he almost stopped Frank Martin, when Frank Martin started holding him, Nahir actually was at mid-range and hit Frank Martin at a distance because he has the height and the reach advantage. Hit him at a distance where he can hit Frank, but Frank can't hit him. He has to do the same thing against Keyshawn. But the biggest thing that I seen is that Nahir was no longer throwing them flimsy punches, right? He wasn't just throwing them flimsy punches. He was throwing short and sharp shots. He shortened his reach when he was at that mid-range. And he put them together, just hook after hook, short and sharp, and then straights in between it. He hurt Frank Martin. So the punches became crisper. And that's really what he has to bring to the fight with Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn is more accurate. He's a crisper fighter, the sharper fighter, the cleaner puncher. So it's easier for the judges to see it, but he's not as active with his hands as Nahir. And Nahir is also, once again, he's willing to get into them scraps. He's willing to duke it out. He willing to try and win exchanges. But if he could exchange and not be swimming like he was the first fight against Keyshawn, if he could exchange and get into those back and forths and be throwing the sharp shots, he could hurt Keyshawn. You already hurt him in the first fight, but it was in a different manner. But he definitely could hurt him. Early in this fight, another thing I like is that he looked very sharp. His counters were sharp. The stepping back and countering was sharp. He lost a lot of that sharpness in the mid-rounds. And that's when, this is dangerous though. This man, Frank Martin, like the fifth round, Frank Martin got into his rhythm, and then he started having his way. No Richie. He started having his way with Nahir. And that's the problem. Nahir is not a natural talent. He's a hard worker. You could tell. He's not naturally slick or none of that stuff. He don't really get into no zones or nothing. He's very awkward. He has sneaky power, long arms, and a willingness to win, a heart to win. He also has a great chin and punch resistance. So he's just there. He there with a lot of strength. He can knock you out, a lot of offense, but it's not sharp, and he doesn't get into a zone. Frank Martin, Keyshawn Davis, these are great athletes with great timing and rhythm. They get into a zone. And if they get into that zone, Nahir did not look comfortable once Frank got into the zone. Keyshawn's zone is going to be even more powerful than Frank's zone. So you got to keep him out of that zone by keep on jabbing, keep on hitting him, never let him get into rhythm. And hit him with hard shots. And the last thing that I seen Nahir started to do in this fight that he should have been doing against Keyshawn, he should have been doing against Kelvin, he started throwing long twos to the body. Long body shots. You know what I mean? No Richie. But he started throwing those, and he needs more of those. Sometimes he throw it and pot shot it and grab, but sometimes he was just throwing it and back out. But you need hard body shots against these rhythm fighters. You know what I mean? You need hard body shots against these rhythm and these zone fighters, these athletic fighters, because you need to slow them down. Take away the speed by taking away the legs, and then you go in there, you make it ugly. Then you let them hands go. So if Nahir could have a real good game plan and do some of these key points, bring that dip load and overhand right that you brought against Kelvin Davis that you added in. Bring them long body shots that you brought against Frank Martin. And bring in the sharp shots at mid-range where you keep him at a distance where you can hit him, but he can't hit you because you got the longer arms. If Nahir could do these things, bro, he can beat Keyshawn Davis. But here's a disclaimer. If the Keyshawn Davis came in that fought Jermaine Ortiz with all of that sharp body punching, if he comes in against Nahir Albright, him being a more talented fighter and a more experienced fighter, and one thing I'm mad at myself, I'm going to have to look right now, bro. I'm going to look right now, and I'm going to edit this part out. But actually, I'm not going to edit the part out. I'm just going to keep talking. But if Nahir could bring in those 3 key points he could beat Keyshawn. But if the Keyshawn that showed up to fight Jermaine Ortiz shows up with the sharp body punching and the zone and the experience and him being an Olympian, and the main thing that makes Keyshawn better than a lot of the opponents is the fact that he belongs there. He feels as though he belongs there. He has an extremely aggressive confidence. If that guy shows up, I don't think it's going to be a damn thing that Nahir Albright could do. But here's the thing that I should have looked up before I did this video. Nahir Albright has 119 professional rounds. 119 professional rounds. Now let's look at Keyshawn Davis. This is something that a lot of people are sleeping on, right? And that's why y'all got to keep on supporting my channel, because I give y'all real boxing talk, bro. This ain't no just me being loud. 96 rounds. Boom. I knew it. I knew it. So if Nahir could start with a hard body attack, bro, a hard body attack against Keyshawn Davis. Remember, Keyshawn only been 96 rounds, bro. If you slow this man down, y'all get into them championship rounds, the main thing that you see from Nahir Albright every fight, he's a strong finisher. He was shoe shining on Kelvin Davis at the end of the round. Shoe shining on Keyshawn Davis at the end of this joint. Shoe shining on Frank Martin. And then he spun around and hit Frank with a big straight. Oh, no, that might have been against Kelvin. I don't remember. But against all of them, at the late rounds, the last two rounds, this man, Nahir Albright, comes alive, bro. He's a strong finisher. And that's from experience. So if you're going to get these zone fighters, these rhythm fighters, get them late. But start early with that body. Break him down early, but let it go late. And test his rounds, test his stamina. Because you should have more stamina than him. You have more experience. You know what I mean? You got damn 20-plus rounds on Keyshawn Davis. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man.